Greetings. Embroiled in the conflict that was the Vietnam War, death, violence, and destruction were omnipresent in American society.
The Vietnam War had been in steady escalation since August of 1964 due to the Gulf of Tonkin Incident and Resolution. By the time Richard Nixon was elected president in 1968, the country demanded an end to the war.
Some groups developed in protest of this war, including the active Students for a Democratic Society.
The Students for a Democratic Society was formed in 1960 as a group of student activists who opposed the war and who encouraged a less materialistic and more democratic society. In 1968, an SDS war campaign began at Columbia University after the university was found to have been linked to organizations in support of the Vietnam War. After occupation of the college, students were forcibly and violently removed by New York police.
Amidst, or perhaps in response to, this new combative atmosphere, a counterculture emerged. Embittered by America's involvement in war and its traditional values, a revolution of personal rebellion began. A nonviolent movement for sexual freedom, personal happiness, and drug usage was embodied by the hippies. The prominence of this new counterculture was best portrayed in the 1969 outdoor music festival, Woodstock.
The idea of Woodstock was created by Michael Lang, John Roberts, Joel Rosenman, and Artie Kornfeld.
Well, Rosamund and I had the money.
And I had already helped organize the Miami Pop Festival with 100,000 people.
We placed an ad in a newspaper for a business partner, and Lang and Kornfeld joined Rosenman and I in developing what was to initially be a recording studio.
When a music festival was eventually decided on amongst the group, the first act to sign on in April of 1969 was Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Initially, we were planning on using an industrial park as the site. Yeah, we hit opposition, and eventually Max Yasker, a dairy farmer, agreed to let us use his land.
Choosing the dairy farm in White Lake, New York, the founders didn't comprehend how large the event would be.
50,000.
And flock they did. In total, 500,000 people came to Woodstock. Although initially to be a profit-making spectacle, fences were cut after the magnitude of the concert was realized. So many people came, in fact, that traffic jams were reported as far away as Manhattan.
We're going to Woodstock! Woo! Yeah! We're going to Woodstock! Woo! Woodstock! What up? Party!
When everyone had arrived, a generally peaceable and nonviolent gathering began. Still, there were 2 recorded fatalities, one being the result of a tractor running over a concert-goer while they were sleeping in a hayfield.
Watch out for that tractor!
Ah! And thus, with her wiggle, I die.
The second fatality was the result of a heroin overdose. Drugs were as much a part of hippie counterculture as was growing long hair. A popular drug, LSD, was largely popular amongst them and was used at Woodstock. Hippies believed in personal and social liberation, and drugs allowed this counterculture to get lost in themselves.
I heard someone overdosed on heroin over there. You know, if it feels good, do it, but they died. Are you okay? I think I'm gonna have a baby!
I just had a baby!
As a side note, it is reported that 2 babies were born at Woodstock, but these have not been confirmed. Along with drugs, nudity played a large part at Woodstock.
What are you doing here?
I'm just hanging here by the pond. I don't have to wear clothes because I'm not going to conform to how society wants me to be. I'm not going to hide behind my clothes. I'm going to show the world who I really am.
Still, despite traffic jams, drugs, poor public sanitation, few facilities, and a general atmosphere of grime, concert-goers enjoyed a large variety of music, including selections from The Who, Jimi Hendrix, Creedence Clearwater Revival, The Grateful Dead, and the band.
So, Flower, who has your favorite act been so far?
Definitely The Who, pretty far out. And when Pete threw him off, he threw the political organizer off of the stage, just out of there. Awesome.
Proving the hippies' focus on personal rebellion rather than political activism, Pete Townsend of The Who threw political organizer Abby Hoffman off the stage.
Destiny, what has your favorite act been so far?
Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited to be here. Let's see. Probably Country Joe and the Fish. They are so psychedelic. I mean, their hair, they rock my world.
Hope, what has your favorite act been so far?
My favorite act was Jimi Hendrix. We played the guitar man. He just rocked, man. Woo!
When Richard Nixon, a champion of law and order, was elected president in 1968, little did he expect to see a gathering such as this one. Woodstock has now gone down in history as one of the largest rock festivals to ever be held, and also as a symbol of the counterculture that was established during the turbulent late 60s. Woodstock paved the way for an entirely new generation, the Woodstock generation.
He just grinned and shook my hand, no was all he said. Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny, and you put the load right on.